Welcome to day 5. If you've made it this far, I really want to thank you for taking the time to complete this course and also really to commit to this beautiful act of self-love, to put yourself at the forefront of your life, and to show yourself beautiful self-care. This whole course is an act of deep reverence and love towards yourself. So I really want you to take some time to honor that. Every day leading up to this final day of this mini course has been a step-by-step process of integrating these basic foundational principles of what it means to be in inner divine union. And in case you haven't caught on, which I'm sure most of you have, it's really this idea of inherent wholeness within ourselves, where we can see that the human part of us, which is also so beautiful and part of our transformational journey on this planet, wants to create stories and narratives around different situations in our lives and different parts of ourselves that we may have been challenged to accept. And when we learn to accept all of us, what we love about ourselves, things that we may perceive as supposed weaknesses, things that we're trying to stretch into and grow into, when we can see all of this and accept ourselves exactly as we are and where we are, that's when change actually is much more profound, because the twist to this is that we're no longer trying to really change ourselves. We're actually learning to accept ourselves as we are. And in that deep acceptance, the change naturally happens because there's no resistance. And to me, that is the power of divinity. When we come back to that place of inherent wholeness within and allow ourselves to be with our human part of ourselves that wants to create stories, that wants to project and judge all of these things, which are totally fine and all of them are welcome here. But when we take a moment to lean back and see ourselves through the eyes of the divine, how God would see us, then we remember that in God's eyes, no one is fragmented, no one is divided, no one is separate from another. In God's eyes, we are all united. And when we remember that we are whole from deep within and we see that wholeness that He sees in us, then we remember our greatness. We are all here as extensions of God, of Source, of this beautiful divine love and light, of the Creator. He created all of this, the planet, the universe, the trees, everything that we see in our world has been created by this higher power. And when we take a moment to just invite in the possibility of accepting this idea, which doesn't have to be your truth, but it definitely feels like my truth, it feels really resonant for my soul. It's like, I can just lean back and allow life to unfold. And when the highs get really high, I can ride the waves of ecstasy. And when challenging circumstances present themselves, I can ride those really raw, vulnerable, emotional human waves and be with myself and nurture myself the way I would a child. And then invite in God's grace to show me what lesson I'm learning in that moment. And to just be. And I find so much more ease with that inner knowing and peace in my mind, in my body, in my spirit. So what really was happening layer by layer throughout these previous days was that you were loosening the grip on these concepts that you may have held onto so tightly. The idea that you need to heal more, clear more, that there's more work to be done, that you need to show up differently. All of that is beautiful and it's powerful work. It's brave to commit to such a journey. And yet when you accept yourself exactly as you are and acknowledge that you are whole, right here, right now, monumental shifts happen in your life. Sometimes subtle, one by one, but then you notice that so many beautiful opportunities are being drawn to you and magnetized to you because you no longer have this longing for something outside of you. You feel whole and complete from deep within, and in that space of resonance with your soul, all of the right opportunities for your soul are then brought into your field through the power of magnetic attraction. And this is the power of co-creation through divine embodiment, through divine union. So how do you continue to take these practices with you throughout your life, throughout your journey? The more we evolve on this path, sometimes we see that as we're rising, different situations appear and they may make us feel a certain way. The idea of feeling triggered and activated. And sometimes we fall off the bandwagon and we might be the ones to project and trigger others. So the question is, how do we keep realigning with this energy of wholeness and union from our core, from the core of who we truly are, from the space of divine love? And so what I found to be really helpful on my path is first acknowledging that sometimes things happen and it's more than okay to acknowledge my raw human moments. What this can look like for you is coming to a space of acceptance. Acceptance can be challenging for some people because sometimes when they see some situation unfold and play out in their lives that seems really awful, they feel that by accepting the situation, they're letting the person off the hook for their behaviors. Or that they may be sending a sign to the universe that this is okay and it's welcome. And that's not really what acceptance is. Acceptance is actually coming to terms with whatever life is presenting with you or towards you. Being with it, acknowledging all the emotions that come up, what it's bringing up for you, what it's making you feel. And owning your side of the street. So rather than accusing someone of doing something, you're accepting all the emotions, the pain, whatever is coming up for you in that moment. And as you meet those really deep parts of yourself and shine a light on them and learn to send loving kindness to that part of you and compassion, that compassion naturally emanates out to the situation, to other people, and you start to see people with fresh perspectives. And it's this idea of seeing them through the lens of love, that there's no separation, that whatever the situation was and whatever it brought up for you, brought up something that was looking for your deep presence. And we can call it healing. There's nothing wrong with that. And we can also call it presence, being present and showing ourselves loving kindness. And as you do that, as you bring acceptance into your day-to-day life, you find yourself more accepting of others. And that place of self-acceptance is part of the self-love journey. Because you can't realign with the energy of love if you're resisting the current experience. please note, this is in no way encouraging anyone to stay in any traumatic situations or anything that feels very abusive. This is more about, in any moment, in that space of deep surrender, feeling like you've had enough, or just feeling like something has been brought up for your attention. It doesn't have to be so drastic. Asking yourself, how can I realign with the energy of love? And letting that bring ease into your body, rather than feeling you have to go out there and fix something, find something that may be broken about you, which is not the case. There are no fragmented parts of you when you realize that you are one whole being. So by accepting, by meeting life with what is presented to you, by showing up every day, awakening those deeper parts of ourselves, awakening our heart in every moment, allowing it to stay open, even when certain situations may have caused us to contract before. That is how you keep coming back into this space of divine union. The state of trust, of flow, of allowing. Rather than attachments, it is freedom, it is liberation, it is letting go. And I know everyone has had some form of experience where you know that once you let go, it's like all the miracles flood in. And they were there all along. It's just you may have been holding on so tightly to how you thought life should work, how it should go, that it should be on your timeline. But in that space of wholeness from within, all the wants fade, because you realize in that space of meeting your divinity, embodying him or her, really him and her, because it's divine union, the masculine and the feminine within, all your desires are magnetized to you, because there is no longer a want for anything. There's no longer this deep longing. You can have a longing for God, but it's no longer this craving for something outside of you where you feel needy towards other people. Even if difficult situations may arise on your path, you'll be able to take a step back, lean into divinity, and ask for creative solutions to appear and to show up in your life, and to see them and receive them fully when they do show up on your path. In the space of divine union, you know that you are always held, you're always supported, you're always guided. And if you ever forget this truth along the way, all you have to do is ask, how can I realign with the energy of divine love? Who would God have you be in this moment? How would love have you lead? How would love have you move? Who would love have you be today? Go and be that person.